My 29 male wife, says she, 29 female, wants a divorce. We've been together for more than 8 years now. We've been together for 4 years, and we were married in October of this year. She maintains that she is miserable and that she does not want to become a mother. Despite what she's been telling me for years, she doesn't desire a family of her own. Even though she wasn't into it when we first started dating, as we grew older, she would regularly express her delight at the prospect of starting a family with me and our children. Apparently, she believes that my family, and notably my father, have never really cared for her. In this case, she isn't totally wrong. My father is a little old school and a touch, and the fact that she wears sleeves has bothered him for a long time. However, since we've been together for so long, time has a way of altering our perceptions of one another. Today, they get along great and have never had any serious problems with each other. When we decided to be married, his attitude changed, and it became clear that we would be together for the foreseeable future. She asserts that she has compelled me to change who I am in order for me to be with her permanently. It's tough for me to put into words exactly what she is trying to convey. We've both progressed tremendously in the previous decade, and the years 22-29 are a whole different life. Of course, we both changed since that time. It's a process I refer to as maturing. She has a strong grip over the kitchen, and I am unable to think of anything except little matters, so I don't cook nearly as much as I used to. This is simply because she is a neat freak, and I clearly do not meet her standards, which is amusing to say the least. A similar situation exists with me. I was born in the country and used to go barefoot in and out of my house all the time, but she insists on everything in the house being just so. I suppose you could say that I have a little bit of a hippie soul, but she does not. I used to despise it, but now I love having a clean house, and it's not difficult for me to appreciate her efforts to maintain it that way because, even if we have different standards for our homes, I can appreciate the effort she puts forth to keep things that way. She promises to have me in tip-top form, but that is not the way I want to spend my life. She believes that she dims my shine as a result of her own personality. It's quite tough to hear what you're saying. She is presently jobless. She quit her work during the epidemic in order to supplement her income. She has applied to a lot of various places now that that is finished, but she refuses to go back to her former work and rather to collect unemployment until she finds something she enjoys. That one is a little tricky for me. She has earned more than I have for months doing nothing, and although I understood and even supported it at first, the fact that she was unwilling to hustle and even work part-time while searching for jobs irritated me. Missouri is now open with limited limitations, and I have not missed a single day of work throughout this outbreak. I told her as much, and also informed her what I expected of her as my wife. I expected her to work at least until we had children, and seeing her so unconcerned about it disappointed me. She has never contributed to a savings account. We have separate checking accounts as well as a joint savings account. She has nearly never added to it, and despite earning more than me and being off work for many months, she has not contributed to our savings. She has paid off a few $1,000 bill, which is fantastic, but given how much she makes, she has basically squandered the money. I just wasn't expecting it. I got home from work, had a shower, and she summoned me into my room, saying she wasn't pleased and that she wanted it to stop. She said that she was no longer physically longing for me, despite the fact that she loved me. Obviously, this one did a number on my self-esteem. I work out on a daily basis, and although I'm not the fittest I've ever been, I used to be overweight, and I've prioritized my health and bodily fitness over the past decade. I believe the separation was created by my excessive usage of video games. We get out and watch movies or binge-watch series, but we also respect each other's space throughout the week, and after a hard day of work and training, I've certainly slumped down at my computer to game with pals more times than I probably should have. She claims that geeky things like that don't bother her at all, and it's the stuff I like, so I shouldn't feel obligated to adjust anything for her. She claims it's more complicated than that. I adored her and was overjoyed with our life together. Knowing she wasn't as heartbreaking, I feel responsible for her happiness, and as if I've let her down by not doing my bit to emotionally connect. But we often make jokes and laugh. We are true buddies. We were planned a vacation together soon and had an appointment with our bank this week to discuss first-time homebuyer financing. I also believe it might have been a spark. She claims she wants a family and a country home, and even though she said she did, now that we are making those steps, she is having cold feet and says she doesn't. I'm not sure what counsel to provide since I've never been in this situation before. It seems quite genuine, and she appears to be really determined. My self-esteem has been shattered, and I feel as though I have failed my marriage. I've always tried to put her first and to adore her. Our life was frequent and excellent despite the fact that it was completely unexpected. She appeared to care about us. Story 2. Caught girlfriend messing around with a guy she worked with. My girlfriend, 21 female, and I, 24 male, had been dating for 2 years when I discovered she was having an affair behind my back. I had used her phone to text my mom because my phone had died, and I had no intention of going through her phone, but I saw a guy's name in the last message, said something like, "Those drinks had me tipsy AF." And she always told me she doesn't have guy friends and she doesn't text guys like that, so I was curious what she was talking about. So I clicked on it, and she blew up his phone. She had sent at least 6 or 7 texts, and he had not responded to any of them. Then before those, he was giving her dry comments and one-word responses. So I was puzzled as to why she was prolonging the discussion. She texted him first after scrolling to the beginning of their chats. She continued complimenting him on his hair and how nice it looked, and she kept saying she wanted to touch and look at it all the time. He made multiple moves towards her at first, and the strange thing is that she didn't say yes, but she also didn't say no. Not going to lie, but I'm very excellent at massages. He continued, "You can see my hair tonight if you want to," and her. "You had your own apartment. You can give me a tour." I was puzzled as to what was going on happening between them, said she just answered to the tour remark with "lol, I got you." I went on Snapchat, and sure enough, they had texted there as well. In those texts, she stated things like, "Right, I'm just going to say it, but you're incredibly cute/adorable," implying that she was madly in love with him. I sought advice from others, and they all advised me to leave her. It essentially said, if she does something behind your back, there's no knowing what she'll do in the future. When I confronted her about it a week later, she attempted to appear as if nothing had occurred, but when I told her that I knew everything and that she should simply be honest, she eventually acknowledged to it little by bit. She said that she didn't want anything to happen, which is why she never invited him over. She said that she began to appreciate his personality and pursued it since she enjoyed the attention he showed her. When she stated he was cute, all he ever responded was "you too," and evidently it was enough to make her feel like she was attractive. "I constantly compliment you, call you pretty, and try to swipe up on your Snapchat images, since that's a huge thing to her," I told her. Even so, it wasn't enough. She said that she began talking to him since I refused to let her move in with me, and I stopped screenshotting the photographs she sent and didn't always swipe up on her pictures. She is quite active on social media, while I'm not. She publishes many Instagram photos every day and even more on Snapchat, and it's becoming old. She wanted to live together, establish a family, and marry within the first year. I told her at the start that I didn't want to do any of those things until we both had more money, but mostly until we were farther into the relationship. She told me she was okay with it at first, and when she wanted to move in with me, I told her I wasn't ready yet, and she said all right, but she was never good with anything I did. This, she claims, is why she began talking to another man. He, on the other hand, abandoned her since he supposedly ended up chatting to someone else, which just made her appear worse. I broke up with her, and she sobbed for a long time, saying she was an idiot for doing what she did, and that it would never happen again, and as much as I want to believe her, a part of me doesn't. She wants to get back together, and at one because I love her, but my faith in her is gone, and her communication has to improve dramatically. Sorry for the lengthy tale, but any advice help would be much appreciated.